Hello guys, welcome to Go Do Micro Projects. Kindly check this application out. And when I say generate, it gives me another image. Great. In this video, we're going to develop this using React hooks and Redux. If you want to type along with me, kindly install the following. 1. npm install Redux. 2. npm install React Redux. 3. npm install Redux DevTools extension. 4. npm install Axios. We all said and done. Let's begin. Thank you very much. Let's begin by creating 3 folders in our SRC folder. So we create the first one and call it assets. Then we create the second one and call it components. Then the third one, we call it Redux. So that is that. Let's take the first one, assets. Now the assets, let's create a folder inside and call it images. So over here we will work on the images that we will use for this application. Now we have our try image here, which I would like to use the try cat image and drag it inside. Good. So we're going to use that as our try image. Now let's move to components. Now with components, let's create a folder and call it cat. Then inside the cat folder, let's create a file and call it cat app.js. Good. Now with our boilerplate, let's create, instead of ordinary div, we're going to make it React.fragment. Good. So let's, inside that we can say h1 tag and say hello. Now let's link that to the app.js to view on the screen. So let's say ca cat app. Good. Now let's import that. Great, that's been imported for us. So let's check our screen now. Great, we got hello on the screen. So this means we're ready to go. Now to begin with, let's look at the structure for the application. Now in this application, I want us to have a card. Now on the card, we're going to have a frame, okay? And inside the frame, we have a picture. So that is that. But with the page setup, we'll just bring everything to the middle of the page. So that is that. We can begin now. So we go to the, let's close this, let's close all this, and go to the app.js, take the hello off, then create a card using Bootstrap. So we say div, then we say class name, and we say card. Now inside the card, what do we need? We need the card header and the card body. So we say div, say class name equals card header. So we copy that and edit it to card body. So that is that card body. Now let's take them one after the other. Okay, let's take the first one, the header. Now the header, what do we need? We need an h5 tag, and inside that we can say random cat image generator. So that is that. Now let's check that out first. Good. Now let's move everything to the center. So to move everything to the center, we go to our CSS, then we say body. Good. Then we say body display grid, and inside that we can say place items, place item center, then height 100 vh, then give it a background color, let's call it hash d1. Good. Let's check that out now. Great. See, we have everything in the middle. So now let's take them one after the other. Let's take the card header. So we go there, we say card header, we have background, we say linear gradient. Inside that we say to right, then comma, hash 1a 1d 12, then comma, hash 368502. Okay, now let's check that out. Something wrong. I didn't close it. Good. Good. Let's close that. Okay, good. So now let's go to the card header and the H5. So inside that we can say color. Let's give it white smoke. Font weight bold, then font pixels, font size, good, 25 pixels. Then what again? Let's check that out. Great. So that is that, guys. Done with the header. Now let's go to the body. So with the body, let's shift everything down. Now come and just say body section. Good. Now inside the body, what do we need? We need a cat container. Okay. So we say div and just say cat's class name. Good. And inside we can say cat container. Now let's create a div width and height for the card container. So over here, come down, then we say card container. Inside, let's give it the width of 320 pixels and a height of 350 pixels. Now let's give it a background color to see what we're dealing with. Let's say red. Good. Now let's bring everything to the center. So to do that, let's create a center CSS. So we say center, centered here. Inside that we say display flex. Sorry, flex that. Justify content center. Then align items center. Good. So that is that we can add this class to our cat. I'll go to the body and say centered. Now let's check that out. Good, as you can see, our cat container is at the middle. Now next thing to do is to look at what we need inside the container. Now we need a frame and a button. So we can say div and call it what? Image class name and call it img container. Then we create another container for the button. So we say this one will be btn container. So that is that. Now let's take them one after the other. Now let's take the image container and create the frame. So I'll copy the image container. Let's go to the CSS. Then we say image container. Let's give it a width 300 pixels. The height, let's give it 280 pixels. And what again? Let's give it a border let's give it 15 pixels. Sorry, 15 pixels, and move. Then give it a color. We say EEE. Okay. So that is that. Next, let's give it some margin auto. Then let's give it what again? Some padding. I can say 10 pixels. Then what again? Let's check it out first. Great, you can see our frame is ready, so we can take the background off, the red off. So I'll go up and I'll take the red off. We don't need it. Good. So that is that our frame is ready. When our frame is ready, now what we need to do is to add our image. So we go up, go to our container, then we say img src equals, let's call it what, image cat. Got image cat, or let's say cat image, sorry, cat image. Good. Now outside that, we can have our alt equals, then because now let's import our image. Do that, we say import cat image from where? We need to go to assets. So go to assets, then add images, then we go to try cat.jpg. Okay, now let's check that out. Good, our cat image is ready. Now what we need to do is to give it width and height. So to do that, we go to back to our CSS. Then we say img, let's give it the width to 80 pixels, then height 260 pixels. Let's check that out. Great. Now we need to center the image too. So we go to our let's call it the cat img container, then we say centered. Let's check that out. Good. It has been centered for us. Great. Now what we need to do next is to go to the button. Okay. After the button, we need to create a button inside. Then we say button, button, and we say generate. Now let's give it a class name. Let's say class name equals btns. Okay. So what do we do to the button? Okay, now let's center the button too. So we can say over here with the class name, we can say button. It also should be displayed flex, so we say centered. Good. Centered. Now we make flex direction column. So we go to the cat's container. Then we say flex direction column. Good. What again? Great. What again? I think that is that. So cool. Now what you need to do to start the button. Okay. So let's see how to do that. To start the button, let's see how to do that. Let's call it btn container. Good. Good. Oh, sorry. Good. Start the button. Let me combine the container and the button together. I say btns. Good. Let's give it a width 100 pixels, height 30 pixels. What again? Let's give some margin top. We don't need it. I don't think so. Let's give some color white smoke. How about the background color? Let's copy the one with the header. So copy this background color, give it the button too. Good. Then take the border off. So we say border none, outline none. I'll give some border radius. Border radius with 5 pixels. Then what again? Font weight. Font weight. We can say bold. Okay, now let's check that out. Great. That is that, guys. I think we are ready for Redux to fetch the API. So to do that, let's go to our Redux. Let's close all this. Then go to our Redux folder. Then inside the folder, let's create a file and call it store.js. The same folder, let's create another file and call it reducer.js. Now inside the Redux folder, let's create another folder and call it cat Redux. Now inside the cat Redux folder, let's create 3 files. First one, we can call it cat.actiontypes.js. Same cat Redux, let's create another file and call it cat.actions.js. Same cat Redux, let's create the last one. We call it cat.reducer.js. So that is that. Let's take the first one, the action types. Types of action we're going to need in this application. Export const load data. Okay. Equals the same thing, load data request. Good. Now we can copy that 3 times. Then we just edit them. The second one be success. Likewise. The last one, failure. Good. So our data types, action types are ready. So next is to look at the actions itself. So we go to the actions. To begin, we need to import all the data or the action types. Okay. So we say import what? Import load data request, comma. Good, comma. Good. So I can just rearrange them nicely. So the second one is going to load data success. Good. And the last one, failure. Good. That is that. Next, we need to import Axios. So we say import Axios from Axios. Go. Axios is also ready. So now let's begin by saying export const load data equal to a function. Good. Which returns an async function. Good. Where we can have our try and catch. Good. So let's take the first one. Try. Now, not try, let's have our dispatch. Now, dispatch what? Sorry. Dispatch what? Dispatch a type. A type called what? Load data request. Good. Now, let's get our URL. So we say let data URL equal to. Good. Let's go to Google and get the API. So we go to Google, say Google cat API, and let's call the API. Now we go down, get a random key. So we just copy this. We're good to go. Good. Paste it. Wait. So now we can continue and say let response equal to await then Axios dot get data URL. Good. Now we can dispatch BTCH dispatch or what? Type called what? Load data success. Load data success. Come on. Let me say payload. Payload is what? Response dot data. So that is that. So should we have an error, what do? Let's dispatch, then dispatch a type load data failure, comma, then payload error. So that is that, guys, for the load data. Now let's move to the next one, the cat.reducer. Now the cat.reducer, we need to import the action types again. We imported them in the action, so let's go copy them. Go to the cat actions and copy it to the reducer. Just paste it there nicely. Good. Now let's create a feature key in the store. So we say export const, let's call it cat key bracket cat store. Good. So we have the name in the store, cat store. So next we can say let initial state equal to, good, let's take the first one, data, let's give it empty array, and we say loading, let's give it false, and come on, error message, good, let's give it empty, good. So beneath that, export const cat reducer equals to a function, good. Inside that we can have a state equal to initial state comma action, good. Let's structure that more. As we know, the type and payload is in the action. So we write a switch statement, switch to bracket type, take the first one, the case where we have load data request. What do you do? No, column. Oh, sorry. Come on, what do you do? Then return what? Return the state back. Come on. Return the state back. Come on. Then make loading true. Loading true. Yeah. That's for a case of load data request. How about a case we have load data success? What do? Just copy that. Then we say with a case load data success, give us the state back, make loading, this time goes back to false. Come on. Then give data at the payload. Good. How about a case if you have load data failure? So a case load data failure. What do? Give us the state back. It's nothing like loading. Only we have what? Error message. We say error message, give it the payload. So that is that. Do not complain. Okay, so now we can move to our root reducer. Good. Now at our root reducer, let's import the cat reducer. So we say import cat reducer from, okay, that is that, from cat Redux cat reducer, that is it. Next we need to import combine reducers. Combine reducers from Redux. Yeah, that is that. So we can go down and say let root reducer be equal to combine reducers into bracket. Let's combine our reducers. Yeah. So we say let's call the key I say call it cat key and give it the value cat reducer. Let's import cat key. That will be imported for us. So that is that. We can finally export our root reducer. So we say export with root reducer. So now export it to where? To the store. So we say we go to the store and we say import with root reducer. So that is that. Our root reducer has also been imported. Next to import is create store, comma, and apply middleware. Apply middleware from Redux here, that's it. Next, we also import compose with DevTools. So import compose with DevTools from Redux DevTools extension. Good. And lastly, we can import tank from Redux tank. Good. That is that. We can import. So to begin with, we can say let all middlewares equal to an array. Let's create for array for all the middleware. So we can start with tank feature. You can just put comma and add more middlewares. So next we can say let store be equal to create store to bracket root reducer, comma, compose with DevTools into bracket, apply middleware to bracket, give us all the middlewares. Let me do it this way so you can see what's going on. Good. Apply middleware into bracket. Good. Give us all the middlewares wanted to be. We say all middlewares. Good. So that is that. Good. Better like this. We can finally export our store. We say export store. Now export store to where? To the app.js. So we go to app.js and import store. So we say import store from where? No. Good. From Redux, then we have our store. Good. Now next is to import provider. So import provider from Redux. Good. Now let's wrap provider around the component. So we say provider. Good. Beside that we can say store equals store. Now take that, copy this and cut it, wrap it around it, and rearrange it. Good. So that is that. Our store is also ready. Now let's check our browser to see if there's any complaint. Close this. Good. There's a complaint here. It's a error reducer during the initialization. Well, we didn't. It means we didn't put our default states there at the dot reducer. At the reducer, cat reducer, we didn't bring our default state. So over here we can say default should be what? Return the state. So that is that. Good. So you can see we got no issue. Now let's check our store to see everything is represented. So we go to our store. Yeah, you can see our state, our chart view, and our raw view. You can see our state is represented. So now what we need to do is to link the store and the component so that we can be able to dispatch the API. So let's see how to do that. To do that, now let's close all these Redux tabs. We don't need them anymore. And go back to our component. Go to cat.app. Then import what do we need? Let's import use effect. We will say use effect. The next one, let's import what again? Use selector. Yeah, comma. Use dispatch. From React Redux. So what we need to do now is to call the use dispatch. So I can come down here. Come down here and say initialize dispatch. Okay. Let's say initialize dispatch. Initialize dispatch. We can say let dispatch tch patch equals use dispatch. Good. So our dispatch is ready. Now dispatch is ready. Let's use effect. So we say use effect. Now inside that we have a function. Good. Which should give us an empty array. Good. Got this. So inside that we can call our load data. We go to the actions. So we say dispatch with load data. Now where is the load data? The load data is in the actions. Go to Redux and go to cat Redux because the actions here load data. So we need to import load data. So we go back to the cat app and we say import what? Load data from here. It has been imported for us. So that is that. Now let's check that out. If we have our data, go back to, let's say we have an issue. Cat.action dispatch is not defined. Dispatch is now defined line 9. Cat dot action line 9. Let's go check it out. Line 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Cat dot action. Line 9, 9. Dispatch is not defined. Dispatch. Oh, sorry. So we need to put dispatch here too. Dispatch. What is that? So let's see. No error. Good. Now let's check our store to see. Yes, we got data. We got data, guys. Check it out. We got data. We got data. We got data. You can see we got data. Good. So now we got data. The next thing is to bring the data to the component. Okay. View the data from the store. So let's look at how to do that. How to view the data from the store. So we go to our cat app again, then go down, and I say view data from store. View data from store. I can call it let view cat equals use selector. Good. And inside that it gives us a function. Is a good that will return what? Return the state with a key. So we say we call it what? Cat key. Cat key. Good. Now let's import cat key. The cat key is in the reducer. We go to the reducer. You see this one, cat key. So we need to import this from the cat reducer. So we go back and we say import cats. So cat key. It has been imported for us. What again? Now to test it out, we need to call JSON. So we just copy that, then we call JSON. So let's say let's call pre-tag, then we call JSON. Inside that we can say JSON dot stringify into bracket view cat. And let's see if we can see the store on the page. Good. The state is not defined. Cat app state is not defined. Line 20 state is not defined. Sorry guys. I need to put state here too. Good. So that is that. Let's go. Good. No complaint. You can see the data. So we got data now. You can see the data on the component. So our data is ready. Now what we need to do is to call this data to the frame, inside the frame. So we bring the image into the frame. Okay. So let's see how to do that. So to begin with, let's go to the body. Okay. Now the body, let's go to the image container. Now this is where we need to work on. So the cat image, what we need to do is to cat that, or we can comment it. Then we go down. Then now we create a JSS where we're gonna say if view cat dot data dot length equals 0. What do? do nothing. Otherwise, give us a react.fragment. So we say react.fragment. Good. Now inside the react.fragment, let's have another JSX where we're going to say that viewcat.data.map into bracket to give us a function. Good. That will return what? A div. Good. That will give us a key. So I say key equals, so I can put here item, then over here I can put here item dot id, so we can get a key of our data. So let's check it out, see if there's any complaint. Good, you can see there's no complaint. So we have the id and the URL. So next is to get the URL. Okay, that will give us the image. So we have our div, which is the key. So inside that we can say, now where's our image tag? We can just cut our image tag now and come and paste it inside the div. Good. Okay, what is that? Instead of the cat image, we just write item dot URL. Okay. Great. Let's check that out. Good. So when I run it again, we have another image popping up. Now what we're going to do next is to use the button to rather load the images. I can take the pre tag off. Done with that. It's making our app ugly. So that is that. When we go to our button and click create an on-click function, here we're going to say on-click equals handle btn. Let's create a function for handle btn. So we go up, then here we can say let's say handle button click. So we say let handle btn equals to a function. Good. Then inside that we call dispatch load data. So let's call load data again. So that is that. Let's check our screen again to see if there's any complaint. Yeah, guys, no complaint. It changes. Wow, that is that, guys. Thank you so much for sticking through. Don't forget to do good. We say peace.